Hello and welcome back to Gapeys Grow Room. Today we're going to be taking a look at all of the peppers that I'm going to be growing this season. I've already started a lot of the longer season varieties like the Chinenses, pubescens, and some Baccatums. So I'll be showing how those are progressing, and then we'll be starting all of the Annuum varieties today, and those are all of the sweet peppers and milds. And I've got quite a few of those. I've got, I think, 21 or 22 varieties that I'll be starting today. So I wanted to show you all those that I'll be growing today, and if you have any of these that you've grown before and want to give your input on what you thought of them, let me know because I've got quite a few new varieties that I haven't tried before. Let's start with the ones that I have already started. We've got the olive Rocoto. I've been posting weekly updates on this one. This is the first one that I started, and we only had 2 seedlings come up, and in my last update I reported that I had a little accident with one of the seedlings. I accidentally tore the top off of it, so that one is not going to make it. So we only have 1 left, and it's just starting to put out its primary leaves. It's only got 1 out right now, and it did have a seed stuck to the top of it when it came out, and I thought I was going to have to do some surgery to remove it, but it ended up coming off all by itself, so I didn't have to help it at all. And then in this tray here, we've got our Baccatum varieties, and I've got mostly tangerine tigers in here. I've got 4 different phenos. The only one that hasn't come up yet is my variegated one, so hopefully we get that to come up. Those are seeds that I saved from last year's late ripening peppers. And then we've also got a Peppa Peach stripey here, which I tried growing last year, but it did not get stripes. So I'm going to try again this year, and hopefully we get some stripes on those. And then I've also got the fried chicken pepper. So that's the only Chinense in this tray, and it has not come up yet. So that's a fun variety that recently came out. I'm not sure if it was an accidental cross or intentional, but it looks a lot like fried chicken, so that's why it's called that. And there is one other Chinense variety that I have started so far, and it's here on the heat mat. It has not germinated yet. I just started this the other day. This is called Ninfa Dora, and that is one that I grew last season. It's a really pretty plant. It's got variegated leaves, but I did not get any pods off of it last year, so I am trying it again, and hopefully we get some this year. We're going to start off here with our hotter pepper varieties, and one of these is actually a Chinense variety. This is the Caribbean red habanero. I usually like to try growing at least one habanero variety every year, and this one, I don't think I've actually grown this one before. It's from Baker Creek, and these seeds are pretty old. These are from 2018, so I don't really know if they're going to germinate or not. I think I originally got these from a seed swap. But I've got the trays already set here with some seed starting mix. I like to use Jiffy seed starting mix, and there's actually a little bit of Pro Mix mixed in there just because I had a little bit left over in the container that I used to mix the potting soil. I like to pre-moisten the mix before I fill the trays, so they are a little bit moistened there. And I am going to start 5 seeds in each of these cells. Let's see, this one here is the habanero, so I'm just gonna, just to save time, I've already got holes here that are about 1/2 inch deep for our seeds. So I just plop those in. I've already got these labeled, so all we need to do is cover those up with some of the soil, and we are done. All right, next we are going to start our Korean gochu. So I like growing these every year as well. This is probably my favorite pepper that I grow. And this particular strain of the Korean gochu is from Kang Star. So many of you might be familiar with Kang Star. He's a very popular YouTuber that grows a lot of peppers and other things. But he happened to have these and shared them with me several years ago. It's probably been, gosh, I don't know, 8 years ago or so, but I've been growing them every year because I just like them so much. I use them in hot sauce for making kimchi and all kinds of stuff. All right, and then another one that I've grown several times before is called Padron, and this is also another fairly popular variety that a lot of people may have heard of. I don't grow it every year, but I do grow it at least every other year. I don't think I grew it last year, but I probably grew it the year before. And I don't recall who I originally got these seeds from, but I've been saving them every year that I've grown them. All right, and our last hot pepper that we're going to be growing is a cayenne pepper, and I'm sure everybody has heard of cayenne. That is one of the staple peppers that you probably find in most people's spice cabinets. But I haven't grown cayenne in a really long time, so I'm getting low on cayenne powder, so I decided I should just grow some cayenne peppers. So this is just a typical normal red variety, nothing special. And these seeds were from Survival Garden Seeds, but they sent me a whole bunch of seeds and I've been growing them for the last few years. Right, now the last step in our seed starting is going to be just wetting the top of the soil. So I've already pre-moistened the soil like I mentioned, but I like to add a little bit of extra water on top. And I like these tops here that you can get on Amazon that make a really nice stream of water that really lightly coats the top of the tray here. So I like using this to water my seedlings as well. All right, now we're just going to pop this over onto our heat mat and hopefully we get germination in the next week or so. All right, now we're going to start our sweet peppers and we're just going to go in alphabetical order. We've got the Antohi Romanian. This is one that I have not grown before. I got these pepper seeds from Pepper Donkey back in 2018. So these are pretty old seeds, so I'm not sure we'll get much germination. But we're going to give it a try anyway. And I think most of these peppers are Italian sweet peppers. I'm not sure if this one is Italian though. But I do know the next one is, so this is the Asilio Italian. And this one I got from Michelle Hunt in 2023. So all of these seeds here, you can probably tell I got them from seed swaps or they're saved seeds because they're not in a seed company's envelope. Oh, I think I forgot to poke holes in this one. But I really love Italian sweet peppers, so if there's an Italian sweet pepper variety that you're growing and like, let me know, because I'm always looking for new ones to try. Okay, and then next we've got Escamillo. So this is one I grew for the first time last year. I got these seeds from my friend Elena, who is local here, and she's pretty into pepper growing and fig growing like I am. So we often do seed trades. But this is a yellow sweet pepper, and I think it's also Italian. But this was one of my favorite peppers that I grew last season, so I had to grow it again. Jolene's Rustic Italian. So this is obviously another Italian variety. So this one is a red pepper, and I've been growing this one every year for the past 4 years or so, and I can't remember where I got these seeds. I'm pretty sure I bought them from a seed company, but I don't remember which one. And I can't seem to find that company online because I guess they don't sell these seeds anymore, but there are other companies that are selling this variety. But it's a really good one. It's pretty big, and I think I mentioned it's red. And then the next one we have is red Lycia. So I've grown the orange Lycia before, but the traditional color is red, and I haven't grown it before. So Dean Levuit, I think, is who sent these to me back in 2023. So they're not super old, so these should do okay with germination. Anything over 5 years old, I usually get pretty spotty germination if they even germinate at all. So I think we'll be good on this one. And then our last one that we're going to start in this tray is shishito, which is a very, very popular pepper that I'm sure a lot of people know and love. But I grow this one most years. I wouldn't say every year, but I have grown it the last few years, and it's one of my favorites. And these are seeds that I saved last year. I actually ran out of seeds somehow of it. So I ended up getting a plant from a friend last year, and I saved seeds from it. And the peppers on this one last year were the biggest shishitos that I've ever seen. And I think they said they got the seeds from Johnny's. I can't remember, but I think that might have been where they got them. And so I decided to save seeds, and hopefully we'll get some good germination. Since they're pretty fresh seeds, I think we'll be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, cover up all these seeds and give it a little bit of water. And we'll move it under the lights, or not under the lights, but on the heat mat with the rest of the peppers we're going to be starting. And I'm not going to turn them on the lights until I start seeing germination on these, and then we'll get them on lights. All right, next up we've got our jalapenos and our Mexican peppers. I'm going to start with the jalapenos here. I've got 7 varieties that I'm starting this season for jalapenos. Last year, I think I grew 6 last year maybe, but the last few years I've been growing a ton of jalapenos because I just use them a lot. But we're going to start with the mammoth jalapeno. So this one here came from Jeff Hobbs. So he sent me a gift box of peppers last year, and it included some of these mammoth jalapenos. So I decided to save some seeds from the peppers he sent, and we're going to grow these this season. I especially like large-sized jalapenos because I like using them for stuffing and making jalapeno poppers, and also cowboy candy. So I just use them for a lot of things. I even chopped some up and froze some last year because I had so many. So there's the mammoth, and then we've got, let's see, Megatron. Our seeds, no, like 99% of the seeds I start are from seed trades, but this one is one that I purchased this year from Botanical Interests, and this one is called Megatron, and it is a hybrid, an F1 hybrid, so if I save seeds from these, I'm not going to expect that they'll be the same as what's in the packet since they are hybrids. And they did not send very many seeds in the packet. Normally they don't when you're dealing with hybrids, but we only had maybe 10 seeds in the packet. We're going to start all of those. And I think we've got one left. And I did send some of these seeds to a friend, so that's why there's only like 6 seeds left. So those are the Megatron, so those should be nice and big. And then we've also got Pantera. So a lot of these jalapeno seeds are ones that I purchased. So this one's another F1 hybrid. This one is from Johnny's Seeds. So Pantera is supposed to be one of the largest jalapenos that you can get. And Johnny's has a couple of really nice big ones. So I wanted to try this one because I haven't tried it before. And we'll see if it's bigger than the hybrid that I grew last year from them. And I'm going to skip over, actually, I'm going to skip over to the other one over here. This one I'm going to grow in the other tray. But this one is called Jedi. This is another F1 hybrid. This is the one I grew last year from Johnny's. And it was the biggest jalapenos I think I've ever seen. The plant wasn't super productive though. I did save seeds from it because I got the plant from a friend and I don't have any more seeds of it since she's the one that started it. But I decided to go ahead and save the seeds because, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It'll probably end up looking something like a jalapeno, I would think. So we'll see if they're as big as the ones I grew last year, but I'm definitely willing to give them a try. All right, let's go back to this tray. We've got the Party Popper jalapenos. So the Party Popper is supposed to be I guess a fat variety that should be good for stuffing. And this came from Adaptive Seeds. And I have not grown this one before. In fact, I haven't even opened this envelope. There's actually a decent amount of seeds in there. I don't think this one is a hybrid, so I should be okay to save seeds from this one without any problem. I just saw the name of it and then decided I had to give it a try. All right, and then we've got this chili temprana that I got from a seed swap. I think this was from somebody on Discord, the Pepper Lovers group on there. And let's see, she didn't send very many seeds. We've only got, looks like there's only, oh, we got a couple more. So we have just enough seeds of this one. And I think this is supposed to be a fairly decent sized jalapeno as well. I couldn't really find a whole lot of information on that variety. And then the last jalapeno we're going to start is Traveler's Strain. And this one is from Seed Savers Exchange. I did grow this one last year. However, this was the only pepper plant I've ever grown that died like maybe 2 weeks after I started it. I have no idea what happened, but it just decided to up and die. So it looked totally fine when I planted it. And then a couple weeks later, it just decided it didn't want to live and just shriveled up and died. I did plant another pepper in the same spot and it had no problem at all. So I'm not sure what happened with that one, but I decided to give it a try again, and we'll see if that happens again. And if it does, then I'm just going to give up on growing that particular variety. Okay, we're down to our last tray, and these are all Mexican varieties. We already planted the jalapeno in one of these cells, and the rest of these are going to be Mexican varieties that I got from seed swaps, some of them. So these first two are both kind of landrace Mexican varieties. One is called Alcalde, and the other one is called Chile de Agua. So both of these I got from a seed swap with David Storch back in 2022, and I have grown some of the other varieties he sent me, but I don't think I've grown either of these two yet, so I wanted to give these two a try. But I'm growing a lot of Mexican varieties because I want to make some more chili powder because I am getting low. I like using it for taco seasoning. I don't know too much about these varieties. I think they're kind of like Anaheim type peppers, if I had to guess. But I think these are both fairly similar from each other. And all of the peppers that I grow every season, I always save seeds from them, unless they're hybrid. Sometimes I don't. Or if it comes out to be a cross that I wasn't expecting, I might not save those seeds. But otherwise, I like to save my seeds to either do seed trades with people or to grow them again. These two are kind of similar Mexican varieties, Pasilla and Guajillo. And I can't remember which of these two, but one of these two I actually saved seeds from a store-bought dried pepper from a Mexican store because I couldn't find seeds very easily, and I was having a really bad time germinating the seeds that I did have. So I decided to wing it and buy some dried peppers, and sure enough, I was able to get a few of them to germinate. And then the other one, I think the Pasilla might be the one that I got from a seed trade with somebody a long time ago, and I grew them every few years. So those are kind of two staple Mexican varieties that I like to grow at least every other year. Okay, and then our last Mexican variety is a F1 hybrid. So I think I'm growing more hybrids this year than I normally do. But this one is called Sargento from Johnny Seeds, and this one is a Poblano type. So that's another Mexican variety that's really good for stuffing. So I thought I would give a Mexican hybrid a try, and we'll see how this one does. I don't know that I'll save seeds from this one. We'll see how it goes. Turns out really well, maybe I'll save some seeds. But I still have quite a few seeds here, so I might not need to save any if I want to grow it again. All right, there is the last of our seeds, and we'll get these on our heat mat. And it usually takes about, within a week we should see germination. And I have the heat mat set to about 80 degrees. So that should germinate soon. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the pepper varieties that I'm going to be growing this season. If there's any that you've grown before, please let me know what you thought of them. As I mentioned, there's a lot of varieties that I'm growing this season that I haven't grown before, so I'm curious to see what other people thought of them. And a lot of these are some of my favorites, so if you see some that I've grown before, you can guarantee that it's a good pepper to grow, and I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.